Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
Hi, Jay Fallon. Thanks for listening to the Slippery Slope. So last year I got to do an interview with Sel Grover, a very interesting lady. She was she started the app specifically made for women, called Giggle for Women, I think it's called. Anyway, let's have a look at this story. She's been fighting. Sel's been fighting a trans woman who has insisted on being a part of this app of the Giggle app, the app for women, because obviously trans women are women. Google, YouTube, don't kick me off. Don't put any more marks against my name. Trans women are women, apparently. And so she's still going through this court case. It's been a couple of years now. Anyway, here's the latest reports. Let's have a look at what actually is going on. Just anyway, here, headline: Sex Changeable Commission backs trans woman's case. There you go. There's a trans woman suing after being blocked from a women only social media platform has been backed by the Australian Human Rights Commission in her case. Roxanne Tickle. Now, obviously, when they say in her case, they're talking about the man who has transformed into a woman. So she's suing Giggle for Girls in the federal court after having her access to the app revoked in September 2021. Maintaining her appearance as a woman since 2017, Ms. Tickle underwent gender-affirming surgery in 2019, October, and was issued a birth certificate stating she was female the following year. So issued the birth certificate, even though obviously she is an adult when she was an adult when undergoing the surgery. Issued the birth certificate. Giggle for Girls, which cites itself as made for women by women, blocked Ms. Tickle in 2021 after considering her male. After the platform failed to get the lawsuit thrown out in June, the AHRC was called on as a friend of the court to make submissions on whether Ms. Tickle's case was validly brought. I'm not sure if I can continue saying that name with a straight face, Ms. Tickle. Cool. Sex Discrimination Commissioner Anna Cody dismissed Giggle for Girls' arguments that sex was a biological binary characteristic. Dismissed it. I mean, we all know that sex is binary. It's it's a fact, but she's just dismissed it, under which someone could simply be classified as either a man or a woman. This is the problem. It is a fact, but we're going to just dismiss it. Sex, this is what she says, sex can refer to a person being male, female, or another non-binary status, she wrote. This is the problem. We've come up with this terminology that doesn't make sense. To say that you are non-binary, which it's just a made-up term, because our gender, it is binary. There is only male, female. That's all there is. Anyway, it is also broad enough to encompass the idea that a person's sex can be changed. Well, the outside can be changed. Your actual sex, your chromosomes can't be changed. Anyway, to determine whether your DNA, you can't actually change it. To determine whether someone was female, a court merely needed to determine what their birth certificate stated. This is the whole problem. We have not held our politicians accountable over the years. They come in with these half-baked laws. You can just change your birth certificate, which it doesn't really make sense, because what you were born is what you were born. You've decided to change have some operations and become some funky Cole Medina later on in life. It doesn't mean you actually have changed, and you shouldn't be able to change your birth certificate. Anyway, so she needed to determine what their birth certificate stated, and if trans, they had undergone gender affirming surgery. Uh, at least as early as the 1990s, it has been accepted that sex is changeable. No, it's not. And that the female sex includes a person who has undergone gender affirming surgery to affirm their status as female, Ms. Cody wrote. Ms. Cody. Crocky. I tell you what, sometimes it feels like women are the worst enemies of other women. When you read a lot of these stories, you think, anyway, in making the submission, she rejected Giggle for Girls' claims the lawsuit should have been filed as a sex discrimination case, saying the allegations were actually of gender identity discrimination. A trans woman may say that her gender identity is female, but the Sex Discrimination Act would still protect her from direct discrimination on the ground that she was identified by the discriminator as a trans woman and was treated less favorably than a person with a different gender identity as a result. Giggle for Girls claims it could dodge the lawsuit because it was a special measure put in place to help women avoid discrimination were also rejected. It goes on a little bit more. Blah blah blah. Down here is where the problem lies. This is this Tickle. Miss Tickle. Oh, could you go around? I couldn't. I'm sorry if your last name is genuinely Tickle, but I couldn't go around calling myself, introducing myself as Mr. Tickle. Wasn't that one of the funny men, the Mr. Men series? You had Tickle. Anyway, I believe this is Tickle talking. Tickle talking. Hello, Tickle talking. Tickle says, I believe that I am being discriminated against by being provided with extremely limited functionality of a smartphone app by the app provider compared to that of other users because I am a transgender woman, Ms. Tickle wrote. I am legally permitted to identify as female. And there lies the problem. That is the crux of the problem. She's legally, he, she, whatever. Sorry, YouTube, not trying to discriminate. Tickle is legally able to identify as a woman. So I don't see any other way around it. If you're, like I've said many, many, many times, we don't hold our politicians accountable. They're our lawmakers. They come up with these ludicrous ideas. We don't hold them accountable. And a couple of years down the track, we have these absolutely deplorable laws coming into act where you can just decide and then you go and change it on your birth certificate, and then everyone else is forced into submission. The same thing with all these abortion laws that have come in, these euthanasia laws that we brought in every state. They've all just been, okay, you can't say that they've been snuck through, but we've allowed them to come in. We're not holding these people, these politicians accountable, these elected officials accountable. And this is the kind of rubbish that we end up with, where a man who's had surgery, who's suffering from a mental disorder, okay, and whatever, if you want to live your life, go and live your life. But why do you have to go and jump on an app and pretend an app that's specifically built for other women, and then pretend that you know what other women are feeling, the issues that are going on in other women's lives? You know, crazy. Hey, check out the interview that I did do with Selgrove. It was last year. I'll put a link up for it. Very interesting lady, has done quite a bit. And check out what her interaction or the experience that she had with oh, I can see his face now. The Hollywood director, the guy that got sent to jail for raping all those women, Weinstein, Harvey Weinstein. Check out the part where she talks about, about her interaction. Or one of her best friends, I think it was actually a like his secretary. Interesting, the comments, very interesting anyway, what she discusses about him. But check out what she says in the interview that I had with her last year. Let me know what you think. Did we bring this on ourselves because everyone's just, well, let's face it, we're all just too busy working, making money, doing our own thing. These bills get shoved through in Parliament. No one really takes a lot of notice. We don't hold our politicians accountable like we should. And then companies like Giggle for Girls end up paying the price because we're all just too blasé about these things until they affect us. And so we have people running around saying, I am a woman, you have to accept it. It's now my legal right, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's ridiculous. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think. I'm going to discuss a few things in the next podcast too about Dan Andrews, about his resignation. And some of the other, not just Dan Andrews, some of the other corruption issues that we've had getting around in Australian politics that's just coming to light this last week. Dan Andrews, Albanese, Qantas. Oh, mate, Australia, home of the corrupt politician, I think. Let me know what you reckon. Thanks for listening to the slippery slope.
They just fuel a desire that will take me